Good morning and welcome to Peggy's Place. I'm Leigh and Lindsey, your host and a filmmaker, voice producer, and we have some excellent guests lined up on Zoom today. We're going to be live on YouTube. We are right now. You can watch us. You can watch it anytime if you can't listen to the show all the way through. But it is on YouTube, as well as we are streaming around the world at kgua.org. We have a web app you can download to any internet device. And we just have a few announcements first before we get into our show. But we have the incredible Real Sarahs here with us, along with guitarist and producer Alex de Grassi. They're coming up in just a moment, so hang in there. They've got some new music. We're going to be talking about a new album. We're going to play some for you too. So first, we have to give you a few announcements about the local activities this weekend. And the Coast Highway Art Collective up in Point Arena will be open from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. They have Collect Code and Perry Hoffman's work. They're the featured artist this month, and they have new artists, Nara Pilgrim Wood on watercolor, Thomas Bogard on oil painting, and Tess McGuire, hats, and so much more. We have the Farmers Market also up in Point Arena today from 3 to 6, and in Wallala tomorrow from 9:30 to 12:30. There is another Art and Take sale that will be held outdoors at the Wallala Community Center to help with rebuilding costs. That'll be Saturday, October 14th from 11 to 2 p.m. This is the third pop-up art sale, and it's an important opportunity to support the Wallala Community Center rebuilding after it was burnt down. And we are looking forward to having that restored. At Wallala Arts, there's going to be an intersection between the real and the unknown in Thresholds. It's an exhibit featuring the collaborative work of poet John Allen Cann and painter Mike Connor. And that will open with a reception today from 4 to 6 p.m. And Cann will perform his Threshold poems early in the event. It continues through Sunday, November the 12th. There's a Native Arts Expo coming up the 27th and 28th of this month that will be up at the Mendocino Arts Center. And the director here of the Wallala Arts Center, Eric Wilder, will be there presenting his company as Eric Wilder Graphics, and it's free and a free event open to the public. And the times, you will have to look at mendocinoartcenter.org for more information on that, but it's the 27th and 28th of this month. And then we have also coming to Wallala Arts, the music ensemble Gradina, who will bring deeply moving traditions of Balkan music and dance to Wallala Arts Global Harmony Series. And that's October the 15th, Sunday at 4 p.m. And they are going to have tickets at the Art Center, the Dolphin Gallery, and online at eventbrite.com. You can see more information about that. And speaking of music, that's what we're going to talk about today with our guests, the Real Sarahs and Alex de Grassi, who are waiting for us right now. We are on YouTube. And before we get into that, let me just tell the audience that they are going to be talking about this new single. It's a Kate Wolf single that they've got out called Across the Great Divide. I happened to be scrolling through Facebook the other day, and I heard these amazing vocals, as harmony that just grabbed me, and I went, oh my God, what is that? And that is I'd never heard the Real Sarahs, but they have been performing here in Mendocino County for a long time. In fact, they met at the Anderson Valley Grange in Anderson Valley, and they noticed that their two voices just blended together seamlessly. And like they said in their press release, resembling the fine Pinot Noir the region we know is known for. And they started calling themselves the Real Sarahs, and they were soon singing at events all over Mendocino County. And they've recorded 3 self-released albums. toured the Western states, Canada, Ireland, and the UK, and have become known as the Harmony Machine. No kidding. And they've done live performances with Keller Williams, Red Molly, Joe Craven, and the California Honey Drops. And this album that's coming out in 2024 also features the bassist David Hayes from Van Morrison. I'm an old rock and roll DJ from the 70s, so we played a lot of Van Morrison. And the drummer is Kirk Harwood, Norton Buffalo, electric guitar wizard Nina Gerber, who played with Kate Wolf and Carla Bonoff, and rising star A.G. Leigh on harmony vocals and mandolin. And we're going to talk more about that new album and just a bit on Alex. He has an extensive discography, includes recordings with Windham Hill Records, which I listened to a lot in the 70s and 80s, and RCA, Narada Jazz, Earthbeat, and his own Tropo Records label. He's known for his intricate, highly orchestrated solo guitar compositions and arrangements, and for appearing at the Mendocino Music Festival. And the Wall Street Journal has called his playing flawless, and Billboard hails his intricate finger picking technique with uncanny gift for melodic invention. And that is definitely the truth. He's received commissions from the New York Guitar Festival and Bay Area-based String Litter Publishing, and has toured extensively throughout the world. Welcome to the show, all of you. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Yes, glad to have you, Alex. I haven't seen you in a while. And where are you this time? Are you at your house over inland or on the coast?
I'm in Ukiah, and I think we're all in different locations. So,
Where are you? The two Sarahs. Why don't you introduce each one of yourselves, your name, and where you are zooming in from?
Well, I'm Sarah Ryan, and I'm zooming in from Boonville, California, beautiful Anderson Valley.
Beautiful Anderson Valley.
And I am Sarah Larkin, also known as Songbird, and I am here in San Francisco because my partner and I had a gig here in the city last night.
Oh, you did. Excellent. Well, we got you up early then.
That's all right. Musician's life. You get the late night and the early morning hours.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Why don't you tell us how you came together, and then we're going to place that single you have out that's so beautiful, the upbeat tempo version, in just a moment. But I'd like to find out how you came together and how you came to collaborate on this song particularly. Alex, if you'd like to start.
Yeah, great, Leon. Yeah, probably best to call on us since we're all in different locations and with the delay and so forth. So, of course, the Sarahs have their long history of playing together and performing together, and I had heard them on a number of occasions, and I was like, wow, these women are great. You know, they just, their voices just blend sort of magically, and I think it was a few years ago, it was the holiday season just before COVID. So that was 2019, I guess. We decided maybe we should, we'd met on several occasions, and we thought, hey, maybe it'd be fun to play a gig together. So we put some music together, a little bit of holiday music, but of course a lot of their songs and some of the songs that they cover. And we did a gig at the, what was then called the, yeah, thank you. Yeah. And in Caspar. And it was a lot of fun. We had a great turnout. We had a lot of fun. And from there, we decided it might be interesting to work on a project together. And we did put out a holiday song a couple of years ago, a arrangement for two voices and guitar of the traditional Dona Nobis, which they had been singing together for a long time. And I arranged a guitar part for that. And then we just got started working on this long-term project, which has been a long trek, but we're finally there. So
I know that feeling, producing this documentary I've been working on for a decade now, but we're finally coming to conclusion. Just takes a while. And so why don't one of the Sarahs. Is it Sarah Ridley is in San Francisco?
Sarah Larkin, yeah.
Sarah Larkin. Okay, I've got you confused there. Okay, Sarah Ridley in Boonville. Why don't you get underway with some of how things came together?
It's Sarah Ryan. Sorry.
Ryan. Okay, just shoot me now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you mean how we all got together?
Well, how first you and the other Sarah met at the Anderson Valley.
Well, we have a very famous event here in Anderson Valley called the Anderson Valley Variety Show. It is not a talent show, it's a variety show. And a mutual friend of ours got together, and we actually got us together and introduced us. And we actually arranged together a little doo-wop, a cappella doo-wop medley, which we sang at the variety show. And we just had a lot of fun hanging out together, and it kind of was really natural the way we sang together immediately, like going in the same directions without using words. And we've just kind of been creating magic ever since. Well, you want to add something to that, Sarah?
Yeah, it's been a fun journey. Like you said, we've self-produced 3 albums previously with various collaborators. Sort of a very stark EP, just the 2 of us to start. We'd collaborated with lots of other folks and had various bands and so forth, and we just sort of set forth to lay down our songs. And we had so much support from the local community, and people started calling and saying, come play gigs. And so we wanted to just sort of capture what we sounded like. And from there, we've produced a couple of other albums with other folks, and it's been a really fun musical journey. It's taken us all over the place, and we've been singing together for about 12 or 13 years now, and it has been really fun to work collaboratively with Alex on this really long project. We started, sharing songs back and forth together, really in early COVID, I guess, is when we really started, sending songs to him. Of course, everybody was in shelter in place at that time. And, sending tracks digitally, and started working digitally to sort of form the bones of what has become this album that we're so excited to release.
I read that one review on one of your websites that said that they had seen you perform in Elk and then later saw you performing down in Bodega Bay. Mm-hmm. And just was so honored to have been able to meet you and hear the harmony that you have together. And Alex, where do you have your recording studio?
Well, I just have a little home studio, which I'm sitting in right now here in Ukiah. It's just in my house. I have done some recording here and in my previous home studio in Redwood Valley. But most of this, pretty much all of this project, we went into to other studios, commercial studios. We started out at on Albion Ridge at Temple Studios. Peter Temple was, for many years, the head sound person for the Mendocino Music Festival, but he's had a little studio there for a very long time, and a simple studio, but he's a great engineer and it has a great vibe. And we cut the quote basics there, meaning pretty much David Hayes and I and the Sarahs, and then we had Kirk Harwood come in and play drums on some of the tracks as well. So we did all that part of the recording. We also, I think we overdubbed Nina Gerber there as well. And Nina just came in and blew everybody away because she's amazing. And then from there, we went to a studio down in Sebastopol and did all the vocal overdubs, the real tracks. I mean, the way we did it, the original vocals we did at the Temple Studio were, quote, scratch tracks. And they actually sounded really good, but we were able to do something a little bit more, something better, I think, down in Sebastopol at E Studio. And then we actually went into some of the musicians' home studios to get their overdubs. We went down to Santa Cruz to get a little overdub with AJ Leigh, and then we were down in the city to get Lebo, who plays steel guitar on the album. So a little bit here and there, and then I think we even did, Sarah Ryan and I did. We did a harmony, one little harmony part here in my studio, and I think I did a couple little guitar and ukulele overdubs here in my studio as well. So when you
Did
say
you
where
have
did we?
the chorus part there over at Sarah Larkin's too?
I caught some vocals in my house.
Oh, right, yeah,
A little bit here and there. It's been
yeah,
an interesting patchwork of
yeah,
music for sure.
And
yeah.
we're going to now play in just a few seconds here the YouTube video that you've put together, or the video that's on YouTube, and set us up as to what people are going to be able to see when they go to YouTube and watch this show. What are they seeing in this particular song and video that you've created? It's really beautifully done, by the way.
Thanks. Well, it was filmed and directed by a great local musician and director, Bobby Cochran. And it was filmed near the coast, out just sort of inland of Elk. And we were supposed to actually film in the Ukiah Hills, but it was going to be 106 that day, the day that we'd scheduled for the shoot, and couldn't do it.
No.
So, yeah, it's just the three of us hanging out in the Mendocino Hills. There's a really epic view, expansive view eastward. And it's just the three of us playing and having a great time. And of course, the song is a Kate Wolf song. So, sort of the Northern California setting, I think, is fitting for to, memorialize Kate's music.
Well, I'm now sharing screen so that people on YouTube can see this, but also our radio listeners will be able to hear the song as well. So we're going to get into Across the Great Divide with a Real Sarah's and Alex de Grassi. This is KGUA in Wallala 88.3 FM.
I've been walking in my sleep, counting trouble, steady counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around, they've gone away. I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and faded papers. Tells a story I used to know. It was one that happened so long ago. It's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Now I heard the owl calling softly as the night was falling, with a question, and I replied, but she's gone across the borderline. It's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside. Let's change direction across the great divide.
And we're going to just pause it right there. And the harmony just gives me the chills. I'm telling you, it's just incredible harmony that you all have together.
Thank
Are you
you.
there? Let me see. Here we go. And I have to hold on one moment, pause that, and then now you guys can speak. Seriously, your harmony just gives me the chills. It's so beautiful the way it comes together.
And it often treats musical instruments as background noise and filters it out. So I'm not sure how your folks are accessing the program today, but in case you were zooming in and you weren't getting that, uh, there is a lot of instrumentation behind that. So yeah. And by the
Sometimes,
way, I sang along, or I should say lip sync for the video, just to make it look fun. But really that third low harmony voice is AJ Leigh, who's a wonderful singer, and I was just sort of pinch hitting there. So
and that is Across the Great Divide, the new single from the Real Sarahs and Alex de Grassi. And that came out at the end of September, and the album is coming out when again in 2024?
well, we've sort of set a tentative date of February 13th, and we'll confirm that. But it should be. I think that'll hold, and it'll be certainly out sometime in February. So.
And it's called Everything's Changed, a collaboration between the Real Sarahs and Alex de Grassi and all the others that we've been talking about. What is behind the name Everything's Changed?
Well, it's actually the title of a song that I wrote and Alex helped produce. And well, I guess we just thought it was poignant with everything that has changed over the last few years with COVID and all of that. And
That's what I was thinking.
it just felt fitting. But either of you can chime in.
And I was going to say, especially with music too, when it
Mhm.
came down to the pandemic and how people had to learn how to collaborate together from separate areas instead of being together in the studio.
Yeah.
You guys can speak to that. Alex.
Well, yeah, certainly everything has changed, and I should let the Sarahs tell this a bit, but since the time we first played together, actually, I forgot when we were talking about how we met. I think we did some whiskey dinners together at at the Little River Inn with Mendocino Spirits, serving their whiskey and uh, the Little River Inn providing a really excellent meal. So it was sort of a pairing of whiskeys with dinner, and that was a lot of fun. And so we didn't actually play together, but we were both performing at that. And but ever since that first gig we did together around holiday season 2019, since then a lot has happened, in particular to the Sarahs as well, and maybe Sarah Larkin would like to elaborate on that a little bit. So.
Well, it's been sort of a unique time for us. Right after that holiday gig in 2019, we played a benefit. Sarah and I play every year at the Boonville Hotel for the holiday tree lighting, and there was a big fire in Boonville that night, and a lot of people couldn't make it. And it's usually a benefit for the food bank, but that year all the funds got channeled to all these fire victims. And not 2 weeks later, Sarah Ryan home and home business, her Waldorf home preschool, burned down to the ground on was that December 19th of 2019. So that was right before the pandemic. She suddenly, houseless, and the community came together to support her.
Wow.
And then, of course, comes the pandemic and shelter in place, and all of our tour planning. I'm sure the same was for Alex. Everything sort of ground to a halt. And then, actually, almost 3 years ago to the day, October 10th of 2020, my partner John and I were in a near fatal car crash. Just north of Willits.
Oh,
And so I've spent the last 3 years healing from, over 11 broken bones, and have spent a lot of that time in hospitals and not walking. And
during the pandemic.
yeah, exactly. So, the fact that we've been able to pull this album together, it's been a slow process, but there's been a lot of extenuating circumstances. And I think it's a tribute to our tenacity as people and as artists, and our passion for wanting to share what we love to do with the world. And I think it's sort of, our internal story is the album is really a story of resilience and, and the lasting power of music, be it, like a Kate Wolf song who died before her time, but also our original compositions, to allow those songs to still have life, with everything that we've been through personally. And obviously as well with the support and guidance, working with Alex, is a true testament, I think, to our resilience as women and as people and as artists. And I just feel so proud of what we've created together and so happy to be able to still be here having this interview and making music with people that I care about who are support me through, and to still be, working with Sarah after all these years. A lot has changed, but here we are, doing what we love, and the world really needs music right now. So the time feels right.
The world does need the music right now, doesn't it? Especially the healing and struggle to get through hardships and come out the other side. I think it resonates with a lot of people. And where can people find this music right now? And what's coming up on your chart for where you're going to maybe perform?
Well, this, excuse me, the song, the single we released, Cross the Great Divide, excuse me, you can find it on all the major streaming services. I believe if you wanted to go to my website at degrassi.com, you'll find a direct link to that and the video. And I think probably the same with realsarahs.com. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nodding of heads. So that's certain. Those are a couple of ways you can find it, but you can also just do a search on your favorite streaming service, or just go to YouTube and look for the video. So please do. We are looking at some possible. The music business is so funny these days. It used to be you made a record and you put it out and you had a bunch of gigs. We had a release party maybe, which we're working on, by the way. And now it's kind of people, dribbling out these singles and eventually putting the album out. So we will probably put out another single or two in January, and then put out the full album in the mid-February. But we are trying to schedule some gigs now, but we're trying not to rush the whole thing along, because it's kind of a tricky thing trying to find the new audience with these singles and the album, and then kind of see if we can put the tour together. So we've talked about this a lot. We've bounced a lot of ideas around, but I think probably realistically we'll be trying to do some gigs together with hopefully with a bass player and percussionist or drummer, next fall, and we'll be out hopefully doing some things in the summer. I think we'll be playing at the locally in Ukiah at the Concerts in the Park next summer. I don't know about, but you guys, I'm sure the Sarahs, you have some gigs coming up all the time, right?
Well, actually, in the very near future, on October 22nd, we actually will all be playing together in Mendocino at the Mendocino Grove. Has been hosting a monthly series of dinner and music to benefit the Good Farm Fund, which offers micro loans and grants to help create sustain our local food system. So Alex will actually be joining us in a fairly casual setting, but we will be playing at the Good Farm Fund dinner. That's Sunday, October 22nd. I think there are still some tickets available for that, to get dinner and hear us play. So that's in our most immediate gig, and a chance for folks to come out and see us right away.
Well, we sure hope you can come down to Wallala Art Center too sometime during 2024. We'd love to have you here. And we'll just have to talk to Seuss, who's been running the place for, almost a quarter of a century, and Eric Wilder and the rest, to see if we can't get you guys there too.
We'd love
to.
Yeah. And thank you all so much for joining us today from your disparate locations in Ukiah and San Francisco. And it's Sarah Ryan and Sarah Larkin, the real Sarahs, along with Alex de Grassi. And I just realized, Alex, all these years I have been calling your and Allison's name incorrect, pronouncing it incorrectly. I've been saying Degrassi. So
Oh,
Degrassi.
well, it's a funny name because it's the Grassi part is Italian. The DE is actually a French addition to somewhere historically in the family from northeast Italy. But so you're fine.
Well, I just love having you guys here and really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on to KGUA in Walala.
All right.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Leanne.
All
Yeah.
right, bye. We're going to say goodbye to everybody on YouTube now, and we're going to switch tracks and head on out to another show that we're going to play for you.